8:09 back here on Breakfast Television. Anti-bullying day it is. This is why we're wearing pink, yourself included. I know it's a red couch, clashes a little bit.
That's okay.
But it's for a good cause. Cindi Seddon joining us right now. You know, we're talking about bullying earlier in the 7 o'clock hour. Can you pinpoint the cause of bullying, whether it's adults doing it or kids on the playground?
Right. Well, bullying is a learned behavior. So it's not something we're born, well, almost none of us are born with that. So really, when we're looking at why kids bully, bullying is about power and control. And kids who don't have a sense of power and control in some areas will go to other areas and do that. And sometimes that means peer groups or youngers. So it is absolutely a learned behavior. And it is about power and control. And
pinpointing this, I mean, is absolutely so key. We were just chatting during the break of all the mediums people have, whether it's the Blackberries, whether it's Facebook. And there's all different kinds, physical, relational, verbal bullying. But for the most part, when it's happening, if you're the victim, things aren't being said. So for parents, what are the keys they need to look at to identify this is happening to their children?
Well, for any parents, what I say is if alarms are going off for you, you need to trust your instincts. Too often we just say, oh, well, you know, whatever's going on, that's part of growing up, or maybe that's just a phase he or she is going through. But we really ask parents to really trust their gut instincts. If they think there's something going on with their child, absolutely go with that. And wait and provide opportunities to talk to your kids. I mean, you know, kids who are bullied typically feel like it's their fault. They feel like they've done something to deserve this kind of behavior. That's absolutely not the case. Absolutely not. And we need to ask parents to check in with their kids fairly regularly. Ask about things like, who did you have lunch with today? Who were you hanging out with? Where did you go? What kind of interactions did you have? You know, typically when we talk to our kids, we say, how was your day? Fine. How was yours? Fine. And so we need to quantify that. Tell me 2 things that went really well today. What was one of your struggles today? Here's what I struggled with today. So we give them examples of how to do that.
You know, establishing that personal connection I see is key. Leadership in the home is key because I'm sure the behaviors in the home kind of dictate what happens outside. But what if you fall into the example where the teachers have become the bullies? As a parent, what do you do in that situation?
If you know, as a parent, honestly, if you think there's something going on with your child's teacher that is not okay, you need to contact the teacher first of all and say, hey, here's what I'm hearing, because you know, it's happened to me as a teacher that I have been misunderstood by a student and the student absolutely felt uncomfortable. And thank goodness I had parents come to me and say, you know what, Cindi, you know, here's what's going on for my kid. And so I was able to rectify that, but without that knowledge, I may have gone on and damaged that situation even more. If the parent does not get a satisfactory answer, explanation, or time with the teacher, they really need to go to the administrator and say, there's a problem here, because kids should love going to school. They should love it. They should love it. Even if they get love to complain about it, it should be a great place for them to be. It's their social networking system. It's where between 9 and 3 they spend, you know, 5 days a week. It's got to be a great experience.
You know, the attention to detail I can see is so important on the parents, but some of these behaviors, if they're imprinted at an early age, kind of permeate throughout, you know, all your experiences, including the workplace. Bullying actually still happens with adults in the workplace. Now, how does this action differ from, you know, children to kids, and how do we combat that in the workplace?
It doesn't differ at all. It's the same kinds of things. Remember that bullying is about power and control. So somebody has power and control over another, and they're using it in self-serving rather than benevolent ways. So yes, bosses need to make decisions sometimes that don't please everybody, but targeting and teasing, humiliating and embarrassing, those are behaviors that are absolutely out and off the table, no matter what level you're dealing with. People who are being bullied in the workplace, there is policy, guidelines, and absolute law around that. They need to follow up on that, take really good care of themselves.
And there are a lot of great resources out there. Your website, beware.com, you created this. What kind of info can people pull off for looking for this sort of thing?
Well, there's certainly resources available for purchase. There's also just blogs and information on different media events that have gone on. Just a little plug, this evening I'm doing a workshop for parents in School District 43 Coquitlam, and you know, if you want to find out about that, you can certainly... and it is for parents about bullying. So there's lots and lots of information out there and available locally, which we're really lucky for.
All right, Cindi, thanks so much for coming through. On a
Thanks for having me.
You look good in pink, by the way.
Thank you. How about red, too?
Hey, I'll take both. I'll take both. We'll put all the info on our website as well, breakfasttelevision.ca. 8:13, Mish. Let's take a look at the